The world will hand you a cup, sweet, shimmering, and slow to poison. It calls itself pleasure. It whispers of rest, reward, and release. But every drop that soothes the flesh dulls the spirit, and every comfort taken without command weakens the will that guards your crown. I have seen men fall, not by sword, not by flame, but by softness. They traded eternity for appetite, the cool of heaven for the hum of ease. They prayed once with fire, and now sleep with full stomachs and empty souls. And yet they call it peace. Do you not know? Pleasure is not your enemy, but it is no friend to the undisciplined. It bows to no one but the one who conquered it. Even Solomon, clothed in wisdom and gold, brought low and forgot on the heart restraint. He built gardens for delight and altars for desire. He who named the stars could not govern his own hunger. The serpent never leaves Eden. It only changes shape. It offers comfort instead of truth, satisfaction instead of sanctification, and the weak they drink. As it was spoken through the prophet, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. If the heart is unguarded, pleasure becomes its king, and the man becomes its subject. Changed not by iron, but by indulgence. Tell me, when the feast is laid before you, and the wine glitters like the sun on water, do you rule your appetite, or does it command you? Will you taste and remember heaven, or swallow and forget who you are? This is the first trial. Every man meets it before his knees that ever touched the altar. The wilderness is not far. It begins the moment you deny yourself. I have walked it. The wind cuts the flesh. The silence tempts the mind. There, where no applause can reach, the soul is revealed. The tempter whistles, as he once did on the Son of Man. Turn these stones to bread. You have earned it. But the answer still burns through time. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. And that word, sharper than any sword, divides pleasure from purpose. Those who master pleasure do not run from it. They offer it on the altar. They turn the sweet into sacrifice, the fleeting into flame. They drink only when commanded, and rest only when it strengthens the mission. Their joy is holy because it is chosen, not chaste. Pleasure must kneel before obedience, or it will enthrone itself above God. And when pleasure becomes the crown, the spirit becomes the slave. The path narrows when the body resists. Every craving claws at the gate, demanding entry to the throne of your will. And here begins the forge, the holy furnace where desire is not denied but refined. The Lord does not break what he means to use. He bends, he burns. He tests the metal in the soul until it forgets its former shape. Even gold must endure fire before it can reflect his light. So it is written, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have chosen you in the furnace of affliction. Isaiah chapter 48, verse 10. You think this is cruelty? This is consecration. The fire that consumes impurity will never harm the obedient. It purifies the hunger until pleasure becomes purpose. Every man who walks the narrow road carries the cup, Some fill it with comfort, others with obedience. One satisfied for a moment, one sanctified forever. When the pressure mounts, when the honor is crushed, oil flows, and from that oil, lamps are lit. The Lord's anointed are not crowned, they are oppressed. Gethsemane is not a place in time, it is a place within. The mind becomes the garden, the body the soil, the will the altar. And under the weight of choice, the sweat falls like blood. In that moment, heaven waits for one sentence: not my will, but yours be done. Lay down your noise. Stop counting your victories and your wounds. Ask yourself, what do you still serve in secret? Which desire still whispers louder than obedience? Do not move until you can answer. The world calls it discipline. Heaven calls it devotion. Silence the body until the body commands it. This is worship in its purest form. The watchman at midnight does not sleep because comfort invites him. He stands because covenant invites it. So too must you. The forge roars hotter before it cools. Ash clings to your armor. Sweat stings your eyes. Smoke rises like incense from the altar of your restraint. But this is how God purifies men, not by ease, but by endurance. For blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. James chapter 1, verse 12. Every true disciple carries invisible armor, not forged with seal, but denial. Each resisted temptation adds a plate. Each mastered craving hammered next rivet, until the man with it becomes unyielded as the world built it. So walk with the fire unflinching, for when the fire is unflamed, what remains is what will not hunger again. When the fire subsides, the true enemy reveals his final face. He no longer tempts with lust or gold, but with comfort. He will whisper, "You have done enough. Rest, loosen the valve." He will sound like mercy, but his hands are chains. He will offer peace without obedience, joy without sacrifice, and crown without a cross. This is how the saints fall, not by rebellion, but by relaxation, not by sinning wildly, but by ceasing to watch. The walls remain, yet the gate remains open. Pleasure does not conquer by storm, it conquers by lullaby. The prophet saw it long ago. Woe to those who who lie on ivory beds or lie on couches while the room grows around them. Amos chapter 6, verse 1, ease is not rest. True rest comes only after obedience, when the soul is finished its appointed work. Comfort before completion is the slow death of conviction. Rise. Do not kneel to the gold calf of comfort. Do not kiss the hand that feeds your flesh while starving your faith. Stand in the ruins of your desire and speak life again. Take command of your spirit. For if you do not, another will. This is the holy war within. The field is your mind, the enemy your appetite, and your victory, obedience. So lift your eyes, watchman. The night is nearly over. The trumpet is about to sound, and when it does, pleasure will have no throne left to play. The dawn breaks like judgment through the clouds, and from the ashes of the night, the figure stands, scarred but steady. The fire has not destroyed him, it has defined him. He has walked through temptation and found within himself a sanctuary untouched by desire. He has learned that freedom is not found by indulgence, but in mastery. The sacred dominion of the soul ruled by obedience. The same wind which once carried whispers of temptation now carries the breath of prayer. The same hands that once reached for comfort now hold the sword of conviction. The same eyes that once wandered now fixed upon the horizon of eternity. For it is written that those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount their strength with wings upon eagles. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. And truly, the one who denies himself for heaven's sake learns to soar where others crumble. Every pleasure not surrendered becomes a chain. Every appetite without a chain becomes a tyrant. But when pleasure is crucified, it resurrects as joy. And when the flesh is bound, the spirit rises. And when obedience reigns, the heart becomes a throne, fit for God himself. Do not envy the man who feels everything. Envy the man who masters what he feels. For the first is his servant of his senses, but the second is a king of his soul. He who rules the spirit is mightier than he who captures the city. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. The true fortress is not built on stone, but of self-control. The true kingdom is not conquered by force, but by faith. Look now to the cross, the final altar, the highest command. There hangs the Son who took no pleasure in this world, yet for the joy set before him, endure the pain. This is the pattern, the vow, the holy discipline, to suffer without bitterness, to hunger without complaint, to obey without condition. Such is the path of those who refuse to bow to the idol of ease, that when the trumpet sounds and the veil of this age is torn, it will not be the indulgent who rise, but the obedient. The ones who said no when the flesh screamed yes. The ones who stood watch while others slept. The ones who burned but yet believed. So now, take your place among them. Lift your head, consecrated warrior. Let your hunger serve heaven, not hinder it. Let your body remember it was never the master, only the vessel. Let the forge finish its work. And when the final breath leaves your lips, may the heavens bear witness that you are ruled by nothing but the word. Let no pleasure rule your spirit. For what you command within, no world will ever command without.